Vick is 2 of 9 passing. 2 of 10. Will Smith, out of the Ohio State University, knocked it down. He's missed his last 6 passes.
Michael sits in the pocket. Will Smith coming outside around Gandy. Both were Saints. Will Smith, one of those guys, has had 2 sacks so far this year.
By the run. Dunn trying to make Mark Semino miss, but the man who was acquired from the Eagles in that trade we mentioned with Dante. So Atlanta fans, you'll want to keep tuned for that news. Vick sacked again by Will Smith again. 5 New Orleans sacks on the night.
And they're coming from the defensive linemen. It's not like linebackers are blitzing and defensive backs are blitzing.
There's a line in the movie On the Waterfront that applies to Michael Vick tonight, and it's not your night, kid. It's not your night.
Very apropos.
Brown and Williams, and it's Ronnie Brown. And Ricky Williams goes in motion, and they hand off to Ricky Williams. And Williams, maybe a yard, that's all. And it was Remy Adele, the defensive tackle, who's playing in place of Kendrick Clancy, who is on injured reserve.
You know, if you're having trouble grasping the Wildcat, which I think more people are having less trouble, just put yourself and say conventionally, what's this play? You know what it is? Quarterback under center, fly sweep.
It will be hard for them to run the ball, but they're up by 11. 2nd down and 6, and on the end around, Ted Ginn Jr. And goes out of bounds, very close to the first down, and chased there by the defensive end, Will Smith, showing good speed. Gain of 5.
Wonderful job by Will Smith, the defensive end, not pursuing too far down the line of scrimmage. Watch Smith. Instead of going here, he waits and sees it. This is what they call being a BCR player. You got to look for the boot, the counter, or the reverse if you're on the backside of a play. That's exactly what Will Smith did. Made Ginn bounce it too far, didn't get a big play out of it.
That's not like DVR.
No,
okay.
BCR.
Okay.
All right?
3rd down and 1.
And you can't buy it at Radio Shack, okay?
Nearly a half a minute remaining. 3rd down and 14.
Out of scrimmage with their defensive line and their linebackers, trying to take away the gaps to run the football.
So the pass could set up the run if that's the plan. And here is Henne to throw on 1st down and gets hit from behind. And the pass is incomplete.
Look like Will Smith creating the pressure, getting to the quarterback, Chad Henne. And I like what the Dolphins tried to do.
On a surprise pass.
Yeah, exactly.
And Morstead, of course, is a rookie. So it's 1st down on the 20-yard line. Chad Henne gets hit from behind. 40.
Anderson in motion. Marion Barber on the toss. Hit by Will Smith and tackled after a gain of 4. From the 32. Romo under pressure. Romo's going to get dropped back at the 37. Charles Grant got the first pressure. Loss of 5. Remy Adele finished it.
Yeah, Remy Adele gets the sack, but Charles Grant makes the play. They're just going to go with the play action. He's going to try to get down here. He's going to roll this way. And Grant does a nice job of redirecting, and then he's able to force him back inside.
Anderson and Barber in the eye. Romo sacked for the 3rd time. Will Smith.
Will Smith just beat Flozell Adams with pure speed. Watch him come off the left side. See, he doesn't move his feet well enough. He's got to kick and get depth. And Smith does a great job of his first 2 steps and gets to that top side shoulder. And once you're at the shoulder and your hips are even as a pass rusher, you win.
It's a gain of 4. And force a turnover, down by 7.
Use the clock.
Barber No gain. Will Smith on the tackle.
And he knows about the Metrodome, former Vikings ball boy and a big Vikings fan as a youngster. Larry Fitzgerald. Warner on 2nd and 7. It is intercepted by Will Smith.
Kurt Warner went to cover on that interception and got hit hard on the block.
Wow, did he get hit. Kurt Warner still down on the interception. He went to go and make a tackle, and he got flipped. He just didn't see it coming. It was a blind side. You saw Kurt's wife, Brenda.
Follow Kurt Warner. Bobby McRae's going to come across. That's a clean hit. It's a clean hit. It's nothing dirty.
Yes, it is.
I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner for going in there and trying to make that tackle on a defensive lineman that has just intercepted the pass. You'll see some quarterbacks slow play that one.
Defense in the NFL inside the red zone. Second, he only had 7 interceptions in the regular season. 2nd and 7. Here is Peterson. A little hurdle along the way, picked up 3. Will Smith there to make the stop. We talked about it last week. Handoff to Adrian Peterson, who fumbled late in the first half, going sideways and gets a yard. Tracy Target back there for this Saints defense. Handoff to Harvin, and he loses the ball. Ball still loose. Saints in a position and picked up by Remy Adele. So it looked like by the design of the play that it was intended to come back to the left side. That's how they were blocking it up. Will Smith, though, he holds his ground. He's the one who's able to come in and knock it loose out of the hands of Percy Harvin. You know, the Vikings have just been entirely too careless with the football here in this game.
They've fumbled Troy 5 times. That's the 2nd ball they've lost on a fumble. Plus Favre has thrown an interception. And it sets up the Saints with 1st and goal. On 2nd down, Favre backpedaling, and his receiver had fallen down. Chester Taylor. Saints want a flag, but Taylor was there. He just was on the ground. There is no flag on the field. Now will they throw it? Here's Pete Morelli. He announces that Chester Taylor was there. It's 3rd and 83 yards for Berrien. Handoff is to Adrian Peterson, who carries it for 3.
In essence, it's a brand new game, starting first quarter and on. Each team will have 3 timeouts, and all replays will be initiated from the replay booth upstairs. Okay? This is heads, this is tails. You're the visitor, you'll make the call. Heads. Heads. Can we spread out a little bit? Tails, you won the toss, and you want to receive.
3rd and 11 after the Pittsburgh timeout. Here comes the blitz. Roethlisberger gets jostled and taken down. And as is so often the case with Ben, he can hang in there. He can absorb a tremendous amount of contact. With 3 minutes to the half. And that's finally a sack. That's Will Smith, who was piggybacking him, and Ben still wasn't going down until the end. 1st and 20 from the 33, and it's batted and incomplete. Will Smith batted it.
Well, one thing we've seen more and more of is when you're only rushing 3 or 4 guys. And
on 1st down, here is Felix Jones. Felix Jones takes it to the 40, a gain of 1. When we talked to Greg Williams, who's the defensive coordinator for the Saints, and asked him if he had noticed anything different with
Dallas. He said, well, they're obviously trying to run the ball more. The numbers support it. They averaged 29 carries a game as opposed to 21 rushes a game over the first 8. When Wade Phillips was fired after a 1-7 start. Ton of Saints fans in the crowd. They make noise, and this one intercepted by Will Smith. Then he lost the football on the way to the ground, and the Saints are on top of it. Looking for Dez Bryant, and Will Smith made the play.
They tried a wide receiver screen, and Kitna is going to fake it to his front side and then come back and really kind of blind make this throw. Will Smith stops, and then he just goes right up because Kitna wasn't looking that way the entire time. He didn't get a good feel for where Will Smith was in relation to having to try to make this throw. So just pretty good job there by Will Smith, recognizing that he wasn't going to be able to get there before the ball came out. Now he had no idea that Kitna was going to come back in his direction. Nice way to start this game for that defense.
And then it was Tracy Porter who got on top of the fumble by Will Smith after the interception. And the Saints offense right back on the field, up 7-zip. Here is Ivory, and he stumbles forward for 4 yards.
And you think about this game right now.
I'm Raquel Smith, and this is my husband, Will Smith, and this is my lovely family, Winter Smith and Lisa Smith, and we just want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving.
Beautiful family, and let that be a lesson. Fox Sports comes calling, do a little Thanksgiving greeting, and you end up with an interception as Will Smith turned in the first Cowboy. We start the 4th quarter, and on first down, Kitna goes down, ball's out. And it's picked up by Bennett. Martellus Bennett comes away with a football. They keep the play alive, and it turns into a gain. Will Smith, the first one there. Kitna lost it, and Martellus Bennett saved it for Dallas.
Will Smith just did a nice job of once Kitna stepped up in the pocket, he came off the block and he was able to then get the hit strip on John Kitna. The Cowboys have now been fortunate twice.
Correnti is our referee today.
Well, 2 negative plays for the Texan right off the bat. Manning doesn't get it back out to the 20 on a kickoff return, and on their first offensive play, a false start. Way to play to the crowd.
First and 15. Shaw rolling, running out of time, and threw it out of bounds. Up front for the Texans, 8-year guard Wade Smith, the oldest member of a line that'll be tested by an aggressive Saints defense. With Foster and Ward sideline, Ben Tate starts at running back. 100 yards rushing today will make him the second ever rush for 100 yards in each of his first 3 career NFL games. Cadillac Williams, the only other back. Second and 15. This is Tate. To about the 9. The New Orleans defense gets Will Smith and his 55 career sacks back at defensive end after a season-opening 2-game suspension. The Saints are Tate in the lineup behind Shaw, gets the handoff, has an opening inside the 20 to the 15-yard line, and another first down. These Houston Texans have scored on 9 of their 12 first drives this year.
Well, this is an outstanding run-blocking offensive line. And right in there behind Eric Winston, you can see Brizell, Myers. These guys are really solid up front running.
So second and 19 now, and this is Tate. And Tate inside the 30 to about the 28 or the 27-yard line. First down from the 14. Tate. No gain on that play.
But Greg, you made the point about them being on the back 2 yards in the running game by their mere presence.
Second and 3. Slayton, right side. Going to be just shy of a first down by about a yard, maybe half a yard.
You know, Greg, I used to talk to coaches, and they talk about the Randy Moss effect. That same thing, when you've got a wide.
Chicago managed just 60 yards on the ground a week ago against the Saints. Tate. And this one gets held up in a hurry. Will Smith.
Well, Will Smith knifed through that offensive line. Man, that was not good by the boys up front from Houston. Will Smith was in the back, and Tate didn't have a prayer.
And we'll see if the Texans get another playoff before time expires here in the third quarter.
Well, they're in New Orleans territory. They've got the lead. I wouldn't be in any hurry to run a play.
Well, when they do run it, it'll be an important 3rd and 6 for Matt Schaub and the Texans. But meanwhile, we come to the end of 3 at the Superdome in New Orleans with the shy of a 3rd consecutive 100-yard rushing game. Schaub with time. And Tate dropped it. It'll be 2nd and 10. Schaub under pressure, couldn't set up the screen. It'll be 3rd and 10 when we come back. Let's go to JB and coach.
2nd down and 6 run. Nowhere for Graham to go. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Greg Williams is going to set up his defense today to stop the run because he knows.
Give to Graham, tried to get outside to the left, wasn't there. Stacked up by the Saints. Tom Johnson led the charge.
Breeze takes aim at the Marino mark. New Orleans on defense. Will Smith has 6.5 sacks. The starting defensive line a total of 7. Nothing from Cameron Jordan.
I think his team supported him. They've won 7 out of 9 themselves.
Yeah, they had success in that game earlier on 4th and short, John.
Here's Turner. He does such a good job bringing it back as the flow goes to the right, to the left. Yard shy of the 1st down.
Watch Michael Turner press this to the right side and then cut it back. It's zone blocking. He's going to start to his right and cut it back to his left. Good vision, breaks 1 tackle, moves the pile, sets up another 3rd down and a little bit less than a yard. We just covered this situation.
Yeah, we did. Very similar. Same spot on the field.
Give it to Turner.
Big hole up in the middle to run. On the 10th play of the drive, Griffin hands off to Morris. Redskins keep possession now, 2nd and 8. Couple of nice cuts by Morris, and then he spins and picks up a 1st down.